Welcome to the Northeast Kingdom Voice. I'm your host, Scott Wheeler. Today, we have with us a true legend from Vermont's Northeast Kingdom. All you need to know is her name is Deveney.
Yes,
Deveney,
I'm a legend.
You have one of those names, kind of like Madonna.
I do. You don't really need to say much else.
Yeah, but your real name, you do have a last name.
I do. I don't like to share it with people.
Well, it's
I'm just joking.
Deveney Choquette.
Deveney Choquette, yes.
Yeah, but you do have a name like Madonna, though, because what is Madonna's last name?
Who knows? I don't.
And if somebody runs into you, do they just call you by your first name?
Yeah, most definitely.
How many other Deveneys are there in the
There
Northeast?
are 3 other Deveneys, but I'm the oldest. So technically, they were named after me. I feel like.
So you've always been a celebrity?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're known for being a radio personality.
That's right.
Hey, here's a question though: is on the morning show, you're next to that guy, Todd Pronto.
I know. Don't remind me.
How is he?
Seriously.
How is he?
He's good. Yeah, he's a little slow, but we work with it.
Right.
Yeah.
And to the viewers, just to let you know, is Todd, who is the morning show person with Deveney, happens to be running the cameras at this moment because he's the head of NEK
Everyone
TV.
say hi, Todd. Hi, Todd.
So a lot of times. a lot of times, your morning show, there's a lot of humor in it because you like to have a good time. But
I do.
But today's show is more to do with a less humorous part of your life, which is you've been touched by cancer.
I have been.
Well, not personally yet, right?
Not yet. Knock on wood.
Right. And you've also become you've also gained a name for yourself for promoting causes related to educating people about cancer.
Right.
Tell me a little bit about that journey.
Well, my mom was diagnosed with breast cancer when I was in 6th grade. And I remember like it was yesterday. I remember her telling me I was helping her load the dishwasher. And she told me that she was diagnosed with cancer and that we had to go down. She was going to bring me down. And my mom was really good about keeping me involved. And I got to go down and see, all the different tests that they were doing, how the machines worked. Because back then, and I don't know if it was that cancer was actually not as prevalent or it's just because it hadn't touched my life yet, right. So I didn't really know much about it. But I remember it like it was yesterday. She told me, and that's kind of when things changed. And she lost her battle when I was a senior in high school. Had
you known anybody else to have cancer before?
No, I hadn't known anyone personally or that close to me anyway that had cancer.
Right. How do you maintain then an upbeat attitude about life? Because working next to Todd, you have to remain upbeat.
I know, because he's so negative.
Right.
Yeah. My mom was really good about teaching me about attitude, and life is too short not to find some sort of happiness in your everyday life, right. Whether it's something, as minuscule as someone smiling or whatever.
And I know we've talked before, and you really believe that your mother is still part of your life.
She's a very big part of my life, and I talk to her every single day, and she talks back to me.
Right. And
crazy or not, I don't know.
Does she always give you good advice?
She does, yeah. And I try to, keep her alive and part of me. And I think that's how I get through, my days and since she's been gone, because my mom was very much that one person, in my life who just was everything to me.
I think you also talked about, when you're a senior, most seniors, the last thing they want to do, they want to hang out with their parents. But when, you got to listen to people gripe about their parents, yeah. you were doing things a little different.
Yeah, I didn't at all. I loved spending time with my mom to the point where I didn't even get my license until she made me go. And I think at that point, she knew that she wasn't going to make it. So she made me get my license. And, where other teenage girls were complaining about spending time with their mom, I didn't mind. And I don't know if, subconsciously, if I knew that I wouldn't have long with her or what the deal was, but
right.
Yeah.
And when did you start working for various cancer causes?
The year that she passed away in October 10th, 2000, and that next summer I got involved with the Relay for Life.
Right. And how big was it then?
It was pretty small. It was up at the junior high up in Derby. And, you know, it was a very small track, and I would guess maybe 100 people, maybe, if that. I'm not even sure if there was that many. So I had no idea. I had never heard of it. And someone had approached me, a friend of the family, and they were looking for someone to take over and be the co-chair for the Relay for Life. And so I said, yeah, definitely, I'll do it.
And I know you and Todd won't take all the credit, because I know there's a team behind you, but I also think it has grown, at least in part because of yours and Todd's advocacy of it on the radio.
Definitely. When we first started, you know, getting the radio involved and being a big part of the Relay for Life, I mean, it's tripled. You know, it's amazing how much it's grown. And obviously, you know, we've got big mouths, so
right.
We're able to kind of spread that message and get more people involved. And that's one of the things I love about my job.
So does it grow every year?
It does. You know, and we're always nervous about the totals, thinking that it's going to be down because of the economy. And I think nowadays, you know, cancer touches everyone, every single person. I mean, I've never met anyone who could say, I don't know someone personally who has had cancer. And it's unfortunate, but I think that helps, you know, the community kind of come together and do what we need to do to help out.
Well, you know, that's interesting, because you were on my radio show just a few weeks ago. And in that period of time, my life has been touched by cancer. My father-in-law now has serious cancer.
Yeah.
So it's, you know, it's amazing how life can change in that just snap of a finger.
It does.
In that. So, yeah, it is a life-altering thing. In my family, personally, you don't get cancer. But in my wife's family, her mother died of cancer. Her father's battling cancer. Her brother died at 49 of cancer.
Yeah.
And they're all cancers that you don't typically survive.
Right.
They're not the curable kind. So I've already told my kids, is, you know, they might be 26, and 21, is you guys are going to have to watch it.
Yeah. You know, the more people in your family that have cancer, the greater the odds are that you'll have it. So, you know, and that's why it's so important for people to be proactive and get the tests done that they need to, whether it be mammograms, pap smears, whatever it is, you know, just to stay proactive and stay up to date.
Now, I don't know how many people can say, see, I'm forever etched in your mind. Yeah. Because I was the man who went with you to your mammogram.
I know, and took pictures.
Yeah,
no
took
less.
pictures. Yeah,
yes,
but to the viewers, I also work for North Country Hospital, and I heard Deveney on the radio talking about going to get her first mammogram, and she was very open with it because she wanted people to understand that this was a very important procedure. So, because I have a radio show up there, I asked Deveney. I said, "Well, would you like me to come along and photograph you?" And you know, that's, you know, typically that isn't something that women want you to photograph doing. Well, Deveney didn't even hesitate. She said, "Sure."
Not exactly shy.
Right.
No.
And but I didn't actually go back. I was the one who got a little shy, and I sent my supervisor, Nancy Goss, in to actually do the photography, even though I really do believe that Deveney is so impassioned about this that if I had to go in, she would have allowed it.
Yeah. And, you know, and I was covered up. It was not like, you know, they were in there taking pictures and it was aggressive or anything.
Right.
So
a lot of your friends told you that, oh, no, this hurts, this is horrible.
Yeah, I heard horror stories. I mean, women telling me that they had been, you know, were crying from the mammogram. And so I was a little nervous, but I'm so glad that I did it, and I'm glad that I experienced it. And it really wasn't bad. I mean, my experience was good. And obviously, you know, you hope that everyone's is that good.
You know, the other thing is, I think through you being on the radio and you allowing me to tell your story, which even made the front page of the Newport Daily, I would think that you saved several lives, because, you know, just seeing you, because you are a notable face in the community, and I think you ended up saving lives. I don't have any doubt about it, because, you know, we all don't like to go get poked and prodded. So
Right.
we put it off. And besides that, cancer happens to somebody else. So we
Right.
think.
Exactly.
But when they saw you young and healthy going, and you actually went for your mammogram younger than a lot of people. Now explain why that is.
Well, I'm not quite 30.
Right.
And usually they have you should get your baseline when you're about 35. But with me, because my mom was diagnosed at a young age, they like to start you at least 10 years prior to when your mom was diagnosed, or your family member. So I went in before I was 30 plus. It was a good time to do it because it was October and it was National Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and I thought, well, this is a great thing that I can do on the radio and promote it, and hopefully, like you said, hopefully I did help. I really hope I did.
And you got some cookies while you're
And
at
I
it.
got cookies, I know. If you're going to get a mammogram, go in October. They have cookies and snacks and goodies, and it was great.
But you describing what went on back there was actually hilarious, because most people are really nervous, and maybe you were
Yeah.
nervous and it just came out as energy. But explain after you got done, when you came
Yeah.
out and there were women waiting for theirs.
Yeah, there were women that were waiting to go in, and I came out, and I was excited. I'm like, oh, hey, how's it going? What's your name? Have you ever had one? And I'm eating my cookies, and they were just like, oh, who is this woman? And none of them, there were 3 women, and one of them just kind of was like, oh, smiled, but the other 2 were not having it, so.
Have you convinced anybody else that you know of to go?
I had quite a few women that got in touch at the radio station that said that they would be going in to get their mammogram, and that I kind of helped them make that decision. So that's why I did it. Hopefully, I did inspire someone to go and get one that maybe wasn't thinking of it, because with breast cancer and all cancers, early detection is the best protection, and you can't stress that enough.
So if you have children someday, they're also going to, especially if you have a girl,
Right.
will have to worry.
Yeah. I also have a blood disease, so I'm predisposed to cancers because of my blood disease, but then on top of it, because it is prevalent in my family as well, and because I lost my mom. So, it's something that you just have to be aware of. And if I can use my job, to help other people kind of be aware of that, then I think that's great.
And you've also been involved in other causes. Actually, you and Todd, every year you guys spend a few evenings together doing, is it Hunger Fest?
Hunger Fest, yeah.
And how much food do you raise?
We collected 47 tons.
47 tons.
47 tons of food. Now, our goal
What does 47 tons look like?
It's amazing. We fill the tractor trailer with food for the local food chef for NECA, and the reason we're able to get 47 is because we take the monetary donations and we turn around and we're able to buy food at the food bank, the Vermont Food Bank, and you're able to buy 1 ton of food for $100. Right. So for every $100 that was donated, we were able to purchase a ton of food.
So
literally.
So you do this as part of your job, but you must not be paid the entire time. So you're doing part of it because that's the right thing to do.
Right. Yeah. We don't get paid extra to do anything. We don't get paid extra to spend the night at the Relay for Life and broadcast live 24/7. We don't get paid extra.
Do you get paid extra to put up with Todd?
I should, but I don't.
So
yeah. No, I definitely should though. I think.
So what other causes do you do? Because you seem to be a person that, well, as I said, a lot of times it's your sidekick, Todd, because I think you guys are a great morning show that does so much for the community. What else do you guys do together?
We do the Penguin Plunge for Special Olympics.
And has Todd gone in yet?
He has.
Oh, he has.
He didn't go this past year because he had a cold. But he has gone in the past. So we do that, which is a great cause, raising money for Special Olympics. And we've done things we do the diabetes prevention walkathon with the hospital. We've done that. There's a lot of different things. Try to be as involved as we can in the community.
Well, let's back up. I want to envision Todd jumping in the water. What was he? You're not going to really tell me he was wearing a Speedo.
No, not quite a Speedo.
No.
That would have been exciting, though, huh?
I know he talked a lot about going in, but was it as bad as he thought it was?
No, and it's really not. I had done it for a few years before I was able to convince him. And what happened was he said it on the air,
Right.
and it was some sort of a bet. Wasn't it a bet or something? Yeah, so
I thought we'd be fired by
but he said it on the air, and then once you say something on the air, people pick up on it, and you can't back out.
Oh, that's kind of like the time that he bet you something on the air, and next thing you know is you were.
Mimi.
Yeah, he showed it. He had to go to the east side in full drag.
Yes, I got to dress him up as a woman.
Right, and
Makeup, hair, everything.
you know, as much as I like Todd, he wasn't very sexy though.
No, you know, I didn't really have much to work with. I mean, I was trying my best.
Right.
No, it was good. It was our Super Bowl bet, and the listeners picked what our punishments or what the bet would be.
Right.
And the Giants won. Go Giants!
So what else? You've jumped in the lake for good causes. You've
Yep.
walked for good cause. You've collected food.
We've done dunking booths
Right.
for numerous causes. I had a pie thrown in my face for Hungerfest, which was really fun, actually. It's probably one of my favorite things I've ever done. We do a lot with the blood drive. You know, I hosted a blood drive over the summer.
And again, Todd was your guinea pig.
Yes, and Todd donated blood for the very first time, and it was actually the fastest one that they had that day.
Yeah, they sucked them. They
Sucked him dry. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was really fast. He had fast-moving blood.
Yeah, I was very proud of him. He was very nervous to do it.
I think maybe. I wonder if maybe his blood was pumping so fast was
'Cause
because
he
he
was
was so
nervous,
nervous.
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, he did good though. It was good. We had a
So
good dinner.
you've actually gotten Todd into a lot of
I know.
a lot of things. Well, what are your future causes? Are you continuing with the Relay for Life?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. You know, I will. I'll always do the Relay for Life, especially in this area, even if I'm not here, because
Right.
it's home to me, and
Right.
it means a lot to me. So.
Are you like one of these people? Your family was here since the glaciers were here.
Yeah, pretty much.
Right. So you've been here.
Yeah, my great grandparents came over from Canada. So.
Right. You know, as right now, I've been here, and Santa Claus has been in your
Yes.
studio. And what is it like to actually meet Santa Claus?
It's pretty amazing. We're very lucky that Santa makes time to come down, and we do Santa Chat. So he's actually in the studio with us, and kids call in and get to talk to him and tell him what they want for Christmas and all that good stuff. It's pretty exciting.
Right.
Yeah.
What does Santa think about Todd's Prius? Because you know he drives this big old sleigh.
Right, I know.
But Todd,
And
he
he
drives a
did say
Prius.
that he had a Hemi on the sleigh. So, he didn't really say much about the Prius. Yeah.
Probably didn't even notice.
Yeah,
the
I don't
little
think he
thing.
did. No, probably not.
So does Santa come down like every night until Christmas, or how long is it for?
No, just for this week. So he'll come down each night, and then every child that calls in gets to qualify in for a Santa's Village ticket.
So what do the kids ask for now? You know, when they call in.
You know, I was surprised last night. They were actually asking for things that Todd and I, we used to ask for. A lot of Legos. What else were they? I don't even remember all of them. Slinkies. Yeah.
Not cell
Power
phones.
Rangers. There were a few kids that were asking for iPods and stuff like that, but it's cute and it helps get you in the holiday spirit.
Right. And I know I was listening one morning, and Todd was talking. He was talking about how when he was a little kid, he used to call in and talk to Santa.
Yeah.
But his mother, being a hairdresser, he was saying how he hated to call in front of her customers.
Yeah, they were in rollers and it would freak him out, and they were watching and he'd get nervous. Yeah.
Now, did you call Santa when you were?
I don't remember calling necessarily the station to talk to Santa, but I remember talking to him.
Right.
I was not a shy child.
No.
I know that's hard to believe, but I wasn't at all.
No, I could see that.
Yeah.
So what other causes have you worked on?
And we do holiday bits for kids.
Right.
We team up with NECA again, and they give us a list of names of local kids, and it's kind of like Toys for Tots, but it's bits for kids, and we're so proud that it's local and it's only helping local families. So, they're actual kids that live right here in the Northeast Kingdom, and we read their names during the day, and obviously it's not their real name.
Right.
And then people call in and they sponsor the kids, and we're able to help out and
I think that's
do a little Santa Claus.
I think that's a good thing, is when you can say the money stays local or the toys stay local. because you've probably met my friend Joe Queenan. He used to be doing the toys for tots for
Right.
years, and he switched to toys for kids because he wanted the toys to stay local. And he finally got close to 90, and he decided he had to pass it on to somebody
Yeah.
else. But so because he too wanted everything to stay local. Is that important to you?
Oh, definitely. And I think it is for everyone. You know, it's times are hard and the economy is not good. And what you do have, you know, I think people are they like to give, but they also, you know, like to know that they're helping, you know, Joe Schmo who they see at the grocery store or whatever.
Yeah, I've noticed there seems to be a lot of people giving. Like right offhand, I can, you know, I know Hayes Ford. They've been doing a
Yeah, they
lot
do.
with giving,
Yep.
but there's other
Do a giving too.
businesses. You know, they seem to come to the to bat. It's like, for example, a little off the topic, but when the Joker ran over the sheriff cruisers with a tractor,
Yeah.
their neighbors, Delabriers, jumped right on board, held a car wash, and collected money for the sheriff's department. So, although you're a very everybody knows you and Todd because of all, you know, being on the radio, I think there's a lot of people doing the right thing.
Yeah, I definitely agree. You know, and we talked about this, you know, with the relay and with Hungerfest. This is a small community compared to a lot of other communities, but one of the best things about that is that we have really big hearts, and people are always willing to give, and that's a great thing.
Well, you look down in your neck of the woods where you were raised, down Barton Glover area, is you look at the turkey trot that they do
Yeah,
every year
we
on
do that too, yeah.
on Thanksgiving. That's phenomenal. They had like 400 and something people.
Yeah,
This
close
was
to 500.
right, and this is Thanksgiving morning.
Yeah,
Did-
11th annual.
Right.
And I was very good friends with Missy, who they hold it in memory of. My mom babysat her. So, you know, it's special to a lot of people, especially the town of Barton, because it is so small. And growing up there, you know, everyone knew Missy. And, you know, to be able to be there and support her family, and it really is an amazing cause.
So you've got Todd to do that too.
Yeah.
Has he run it?
He hasn't run it, but he did walk it.
Right.
Yes.
Now, let's just say if your team was ever to break up, what is Todd going to do with his time? Because you're always getting him. Because you're like
He'll probably sleep.
yeah, you're kind of like Laurel and Hardy or something. And
I know. I'm always getting him into things. Yeah.
so
He'll probably sleep.
yeah, that's it. I hope you know. I hope if you guys ever part, you know what I've often I often thought of is, do you know how many people think you're actually
I know. I knew you were going to say that.
you know how many people actually think you're a couple?
Yeah.
But you are really good friends.
No, we're Todd's my best friend, and you know we not only work every day together, but we hang out on the weekends. We hang out at night after work. We're not dating. We're not, you know, we're not married or anything.
But there are a lot of people.
Everyone thinks that. Everyone thinks
See,
that
I
we're
knew
dating.
I knew
and
different.
they
but-
think that we should date if we're not dating.
Right.
But I think, you know, we look at each other as best friends or brothers and sisters, and we've never gotten into a fight. Have we ever fought? I don't think we have. We had one.
After this show's done.
We had one pretend fight on the air, and people were really bent out of shape about it. And it was a joke. People were freaking out, though.
So we only have about 2 more minutes left. What do you want to tell the viewers? Anything about you, about your causes, or if you want to talk about Todd?
Wow, that's an open-ended question or statement. You know, I think that it's just really important for people to not only be proactive about, you know, cancer and stuff like that, but to give back to the community and, you know, give your time and volunteer and do whatever you can. I think as a small community, I think that we have to do that. So I would recommend it. Plus, you feel really good about it.
And I know right now Moo is going through a transitional period, and I
Yes.
can't even imagine them wanting to get rid of the two of you because you have done so much for the community.
Yeah.
But you're probably waiting to see what goes on.
Yeah, we don't really know what's going to happen. We're keeping our fingers crossed, so we'll see.
All right.
We don't want, you know, obviously we don't want anything to happen either.
Thank you for coming on the show, but more importantly, thank you for all you do because you put so much energy into your work. You put so much energy into living, and I just think you're great. And I think
Thank you.
even as much as we joke about Todd, Todd is one heck of a great guy,
is. He really
and
is.
he does equally as much for this community. And
He does.
I think WMOO should be very proud that they have both of you working there.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
And thank you to the viewers for tuning in to another segment of the Northeast Kingdom Voice.